Ready?
What happened to your headphones?
That don't come in here. Are we good? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Humblest Opinion, Season 2, Episode 5. We did take a brief hiatus, a brief break. We did take a brief break from our regularly scheduled program, but we're back here to bring you an authentic perspective, an original perspective on events and things that are happening all across the world and, of course, the diaspora. Myself, Tony Bahama, I'm here with who is definitely, we are definitely bringing you an original perspective on a lot of different current issues. We're going to get right to it. And the topic that's most pressing on a lot of people's minds is, in my mind, the brother Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels of YouTube and social media fame. No matter what side or point you're leaning on, you definitely have a right to an opinion. You don't have a right to hate. You never know. You're not entitled to that, but you have a right to an opinion. Here we on our humble opinion, we go off of that. But again, please tell us, what's your thoughts?
Well, first off, I'm not a hater of Kevin Samuels. Let me just say that, okay? Now, I'm not saying that I'm a fan either. I was a big fan of any of them. But I would say this. I've watched shows which a lot of people have not done. You said it again. A lot of people have not watched Kevin Samuels shows. They've watched snippets, which means that them speaking on behalf of just those snippets means that they're idiots, whether they understand it or not. Okay?
Define idiot for that.
They're stupid, and let me explain why they're stupid. Okay? If you are dealing with a situation and you don't have the entire realm of information,
Perfectly said it. Yep.
Okay, then you're stupid. Because how is it that you are forming an opinion on somebody who you have not actually studied? I've seen, because his name has been all over social media. Wow, I tell you, all over.
You definitely
every single platform, that's out there, he's been on there. All right. So you have a situation where, and I've seen it in comments. They're like, "Well, I never watched any of his shows, but I've seen comments and this and that." And so I'm like, "You understand that you don't have the right to form an opinion.
So why are you talking?
Because you're going off of what somebody else said. And one of the lowest forms of intelligence is building an opinion based off of someone else's opinion. See, you need to go and actually study something for yourself. And then you can say, you know what? From what I have gathered, the information that I have gathered, I feel this way, that way about it. The brother would have shows for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. And people are speaking on 2 minutes of information.
Not even in some
5 minutes of information. Sometimes 30 seconds snippet clip.
Right.
Okay. Or a comment that he might have typed to somebody and their entire life is based off of that. First off, why is this person getting you so upset? Is he triggering something in you that says, this is who I am? You're stepping on my toes.
Right.
Please get off.
And you've never met this man.
I'm just trying to figure because for the females especially, and this is the scary part. This brother used to go in on guys long before he went in on women.
I just was about to say that.
Long before he went in on women, he used to go in on guys and talk about them really badly. There was an episode where there's a guy who's overweight and he's making something like $35,000 a year,
yeah,
something like that.
I remember this clearly, yes.
And he was speaking about the kind of woman that he wants and what they need to be doing, this and that, whatever. He's like, okay, my brother, first off, you're overweight. Okay, let's be clever. Okay, you're overweight. You're making like 25 grand a year. So are you well endowed? Like you have a big package? He's like, well, I think I already. He's like, hold on. You know, if you were here with a big
you didn't know.
package,
You didn't know.
Like,
you want to know.
Like, this is a question. So obviously, You small.
You wouldn't know.
Average,
You wouldn't
right?
know.
So what you're saying to me now is that you're not that attractive. You got all this weight on. You only making 25 grand. You're speaking as if you are qualified to get, the best and the finest. But you need to check yourself. Now, this dude, I didn't hear about him bunching and crying and starting a campaign against him and whatnot.
He didn't cancel.
What I've realized, the big difference between men and women, because females have been targeted for years, especially black women, have been targeted for years to be the champion of the agenda's cause. So whatever they're trying to do, they work on the women because it's easier to convince them, with all the emotions and whatnot, to say, hey, this is something that we need to fight for. So with guys, we can look and say, you know what, that dude ain't making no sense. Or this dude ain't making no sense. Well, I just ain't gonna listen to him no more.
Right.
Or here, I feeling him. I don't like how he stepped to me, so I just ain't gonna mess with him no more. Or you know what, I need to step my game up.
Right.
Because he actually showed me really who I am and what I'm dealing with. Because I didn't bother to look in the mirror. I'm just thinking that because I'm a man, I'm not gay, which means that we could have children. I'm prepared to be faithful to this woman, give her all my love and attention, and I'm prepared to be a provider. But I didn't realize that with my little bit of money, I can't really provide most of these females who I'm looking for with what they're looking for. So I need to step my game up, right? A female would take that information, you start crying, okay, go on and tell all of her girlfriends, and now they ready to gang this.
And let's hate this gentleman.
Okay, you understand? So the problem that I've realized is that we have a lot of people, because it's not just females. Okay, you do have some men, but most of those men ain't the true definition of what I'd call a man. Okay? Everyone have their different ideas, and I'm speaking more along the lines of the effeminate men, because not all men who are feminine are gay. You just have some guys who just grow up soft. Okay, well, so what I'm saying though is that we have these people, the effeminate man and these females who are just not accustomed to looking in the mirror. They don't want to be held accountable. As soon as you start talking about their flaws, it's a problem. But mind you, they can sit down and talk about your flaws all day.
Right.
Because one thing I respected the guy for was this. He never said, I'm perfect.
Right.
He said, listen, I have all kinds of flaws. I'm this, I'm that. Most of the information that you found out about Kevin Samuels, he said to himself on the show.
He told you he was divorced.
Okay.
3 times.
Right, and all of this. So what he's saying is this. I feel that because of what I've already gone through, I feel like I have enough experience, enough life experience to say to you that this is what needs to be done. But there are shows where you'll be saying, listen, I don't like doing these type of shows. Okay, I want us to come together as black people and stop seeing the black man, woman stop seeing the black man as enemy, and man stop seeing the black woman as enemy, because we're all one. Let's come together with the family structure. But how are we going to get to that? If you keep on getting this girl, these women pregnant, and walking away from them, and women, if you all keep opening your legs and getting 3-4 baby daddies, and then when you finally get sense, you want someone who's making $100,000, $1 million a year to come and take care of you and your children, and you're going to say to him, if you're a real man. No, he don't have, that don't make him a real man because he wants to take care of your children. The man may only want his children. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? So everyone is not on that run. So if you're looking for someone who in this category and caliber you're talking about, most of those guys are driven and focused. Okay? Most of those guys are driven and focused. So they ain't going to be interested in that.
And his point was based on logic. Like a lot of things, I my own personal opinion aside relative to him, but I did do the research. My research states and shows me that this gentleman, he wasn't coming from a place of opinion with a lot of what he was saying.
Stats. He had a lot of stats.
He searched and researched and he gave sources.
Yes.
He actively gave sources.
Yeah.
He said he talked about the United States Census Bureau. He talked about the recent census of 2020. He came in numbers. He talked about the government records are keeping information.
Right.
He didn't just say, let me wake up and make you feel this way and message you and tell you something that was on top of my head. No, that's not how we proceeded. He came and he spoke to you and told you numbers, and then he looked at the majority. Everybody went for the one outlier, or well, this one person did this, or my girlfriend, whatever. He said that's not part of the course.
No.
What needs to happen, excuse me, is we're looking at the business. We're looking at the bulk of all of the information that was being spewed, or information that was being given, and that's where he dwelled. The majority of women had a demonizing attitude towards black men. He saw the invasion of the LGBTQ agenda in the relationship aspects relative to dress and lifestyle and finances and just generally, thought as far as people, the feminism movement.
Yes.
He saw this, and he was giving you this information to digest, to think on, not to make you mad. Like, nobody's coming to you. This man isn't, by the way, putting up his own YouTube channel, keeping it for some almost, it's been around, like Brother Gamba said, I did the research, it's been around for almost 10 years. He's been doing it for 10 years. He's not coming around to make you mad. He wasn't having this YouTube channel for 10 years or whatever long it was, just so that you would one day click on it to make you mad. He didn't even start there talking about men. Or women.
The thing is, he never called himself a relationship guru.
Correct.
People called him that. Okay, the man was a fashion consultant.
Correct.
Right, that's how he started his channel. That's what he was doing. Then, as people would ask him questions, he would give his opinion. And it used to be more men because he was actually telling guys how to dress, the type of things they need to have in their closet, so that they could attend these events if they have the opportunity to attend it.
Correct.
Right? Then it moved to that. Now, this is what I'd like to say. The man never pulled a gun on anybody and say, come on the show.
Completely optional.
No one was held at gunpoint. Nobody was kidnapped. We didn't see no restraints. We didn't see no blindfold. We didn't see nobody pulling off no duct tape and saying, now you can speak. So you came to his platform. Now, I'm not saying that he spoke to people in what individuals would consider to be the best light, but guess what? I'm pretty curt myself. So I guess I didn't really have a problem because I understood where he was coming from. Because sometimes this thing was like, you really this stupid? Like, I got to blink like 10 times to digest what it is that you just said, right? But they came. So that meant that you wanted to hear from him. Because if you wanted opinion from somebody else, you didn't have to come on the show. You did not have to. And I don't respect cancel culture. I think only stupid people are part of cancel culture. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like somebody's show, don't go on it. Like cyberbullying. So you can't delete them, you can't block them.
Right.
That, the phones and computers don't have that feature. That's what I'm saying. And there's no way for you online to not deal with this person no more. Because that's all you have to do. If somebody puts something inside my messenger, my DM, my whatever, and I ain't interested in that, block, delete, okay? And if it's WhatsApp, even better, because I can report you. But they actually, other social media have the same thing, and they can send the what the messenger was, so you could say, this is why I had a problem, okay? You go to Facebook, they got ask you certain areas, was it nudity, was it spam, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so you have the opportunity to do these things, so I don't understand why you feel like someone's platform needs to be removed just because you don't like what you have to say.
Yeah, well stated. We have to get into, I guess, the fact of what happened. I mean, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. Again, this is our humble opinion on some of this. Going back here, you can see in the back screen here, it's the medical examiner's, press report. People have made quite a bit of assumptions. And I have to say something. I'm really just genuinely appalled. Just honestly, I don't really care how beautiful you are as a woman physiologically. If you I'm gay. I'm not gay, so I don't really care about what men think about this whole situation. But just in general, I can see how black you are as a person, or dark and deep as a soul, if you are wishing or happy or elated at somebody's death. Biggie used to say, he don't wish death on nobody because, coming back from that.
Right.
even back you go back as far as you know, the Haitian Revolution, when they said, look, we don't have a cure for death, at this point in time. So they didn't really believe in the death penalty, giving someone the death penalty, as far as the state taking their life.
Right.
You can't take that back. You can't bring somebody back from that. So no matter what evidence they do, good or bad, or your personal stance on certain things, I really feel, I want to, and I personally, this is just my personal thought. I've looked through comments and seen the type of people who are commenting and happy and elated at this man's death. And I blocked you. I deleted you. I avoided you. I know your name. As much as I could say. Because for you to wish death on somebody that is, whether you feel it or not, based on the facts, based on the numbers in his body of work, is trying to help bring together men and women.
See, my thing is this.
Bring together men and women, but there's some foreigners out there, or some people you don't know, or some historical records of some horrible fucking people. King Leopold, these other different motherfuckers, and who's the other people that, excuse my language, I don't care. But you don't know those people and what they did to your people and how they're affecting you still to this day in their companies' behaviors and countries' behaviors. But you are so adamant to hate and disavow and want dead and take joy in the death of someone that's trying to help. Fuck you.
See, this right here is exactly what I was about to say. Because at the end of the day, when you're speaking about Leopold, who makes Hitler look like a fucking, right? So you're speaking about these
how much people did Hitler kill, and how much did people?
Hitler probably is around 20, 30 million, and Leopold is over 100 million. Okay, so
thank you.
So at the end of the day now, you have people. Okay, let's even downsize and downgrade. You have people like Jerry Springer, Howard Stern, okay, Moridos, who was making them all, but when I see, because they were capitalizing on the suffering of and the low IQ, the low mentality of a lot of our people, and they on from week to week making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you wasn't trying to get them cancer, okay. But at the end of the day, they were still exposing the truth as well.
Yes.
It ain't like they were telling a lie.
Yes.
They just was letting people see this is who you all are and this is how you're carry on. Now this man, yes.
And they love that, by the way.
Yes, and see, and that's the thing. We have a problem where we have an issue with the messenger. We have an issue with the messenger. So we're not concerned about the messaging. We don't want to get to the message. We just want to know that there's somebody pretty or handsome in the front of us giving us the message. And they could be telling us any foolishness. And as long as they look nice and sound nice, they be cool. Instead of saying, hold on, let me pay attention to the message. Is this person saying something sensible? So as long as you're speaking to somebody in a way that they like, it ain't hurting their feelings, then that means you're a good person. This is why we are so stupid as people. This is why we're so stupid as a people. Because what do you think politicians and then pastors and all these people, they try to make sure that they put people in the front of you who are pleasing to the eye. So now you go and you run with whatever they say because you like the person. And as far as you're concerned, because they like them, I don't feel like this would be someone who would do this. A lot of men are dead and in jail because of beautiful women. Because the people believed the story what they told. They poisoned the man. And they say, oh, this woman don't look like she killed nobody. So they ain't even bother with an autopsy. They ain't bother with a criminal case. Oh, he raped me. They ain't even bother to do no real investigation, throw the man in jail. And then sometimes, 10, 15, 20, 25 years later, DNA clearly showed that it didn't happen. Or she catch herself and felt sorry and say, no, it was a lie. But where's she after that?
Yeah.
She free.
Emmett Till.
Okay. All right.
The lady is still walking around today.
And there's so many different things like this. So what I'm saying at the end of the day is that we need to learn and understand and realize that the importance is the message, not the messenger. So just because this person is hurting your feelings doesn't mean they're telling the truth. And guess what? If you don't like what they're saying or how they're saying it, you don't have to listen.
You have the right. Again, you have the right. We didn't go through our disclaimer. Most people that listen to us here, we understand and know this. We thank you for your support. But, watch to not go to not be a part of whatever it is that you want to do. In most cases, with most things. So it's just really kind of um, started right there in a place of culture. And if you look at the screen now, you'd see the young lady. I don't know if this is the accusement. I don't know exactly what to call this.
The thing about it is this.
We're not sure. I'm not sure.
What's being said is that the female was a nurse.
What name is this?
Um,
Hortensia Alcantara.
okay, but what's being said is that she's a nurse. That's what they say. Now, there are a few things that we need to take note of. Before his death, those two seem to be having some sort of an issue. I don't know what the issue was, but you could hear him on the live and her having a conversation with his basically showing her like, whatever your issue is right now, I don't have time for this, I have to go back, right? Dude is dead. I think that seemed like.
Yeah, that's tough.
Right? Now,
buddy.
You have somebody who has medical training, supposedly. And when the cops are called, you know what it said? They didn't say somebody was poisoned, somebody was throwing up, somebody was having pain. You know what the report said? I'm injured. Injury leads one to believe that something was damaged on somebody, that there was an altercation and something took place, right? Because that's what you say. Injured, someone is injured.
Right.
Okay, I broke my arm, I broke my leg, I have a sprained ankle, I'm injured. Okay, if I'm sick, if I'm dying, there's something different. Okay, and most people have the sense to know what that is, especially someone who's a trained medical professional. All right, now I don't know her, don't know him, I don't know what took place, but what I will say is that it doesn't matter what reports are given. I'll say that simply to say this. There was a case where a woman was sent to jail for poisoning her husband. Arsenic. 2 of the samples had arsenic in it, the other 4, because they took 6, the other 4 had nothing. She went to jail. They pushed for her to have a new case, and a different laboratory test those same cells and identifying arsenic in none. So what I'm saying, and so she was released, she was set free. What I'm saying, and her family was bankrupt because of the legal bills. What I'm saying is that just because someone says something does not make it so.
Correct.
Just because someone did something doesn't mean that they did it correctly. So we're not 100% sure, and may never be 100% sure as to what truly took place, unless these people really go through the point of making sure that these things are sorted out. And here's the thing: Kevin Samuels, he wasn't married, so he don't really have grown people to come and fight for him to make sure things straight, unless his mother tries to push an issue. So we don't know what happened. We cannot say what truly took place. All right, they're saying it was an overdose or whatnot. We don't know. But what I would say is this: a whole lot of black people, black influential people, over the course of the years, have died alone on an overdose or something.
Yeah.
That just seems a little strange to me.
They're vastly more than a coincidence, which is sad. Just more so in recent memory too, as well. Michael Jackson, Prince,
Whitney Houston,
come
on.
Hey,
Christina, all of these people.
All these people happen to kind of either know something and trying to waken up or trying to wake up other black people. Just they're more than a coincidence here.
So I'm just saying,
that's a good ass point.
I cannot say.
That's a great point.
Can't say definitively what it is that took place or what is taking place. I'm just saying that for the most part, things are really whatever they compare.
Yeah, and as we transition on to our next point with some of this, one of the things, didn't want to pull that up, because I did remember seeing a sample or it was written as an autopsy. Just want to provide that information. But while we transition to the next, the next thought or the next part of this, we got to talk about Ukraine. We have to mention what's going on here. But again, we actually have it right here. before we move on, the murder conspiracy or coronary heart disease, what the question was posed relative to this, you know. Gotta look at this. Have to look at this. A lot of people are saying this is a plot for target. You know, and is it right? Is it within reason to see this or to have this thought? Yeah, you know, like Brother Yamba just said, there's a lot of us doing this. You know, and I was with somebody yesterday and they brought up a really, really poignant point. They say the poisoning, you know, the right to poison yourself is apparently something that's only reserved for for white people. You know, we have the opium epidemic going on, quote unquote, in the United States. You know, they're poisoning themselves. You know, a lot of them, I know, and they're getting state help. They're getting aid from the government, and you know, you have a bunch of places that now take them in, and that kind of thing. You know, hey, and you don't want nobody to be strung on drugs or such or anything like that. But hey, you know, what is, you know, only black people can't even, you know, poison themselves anymore. You know, someone's poisoning them. That's the point of what Brother Yam was making here. And I could see this. If you look at on the screen here, you can see the coronary heart disease. You know, this is the incident report, direct from the Atlanta Police Department, talking about on May 5th. Officer J. Figueroa responded to a call regarding a person injured, like Brother Yama said. Injured. You know, if you know, okay, let's put it in this back. We go a little long on this. We need to. We're going to get to that next point in a second. But if someone is poisoned or sick or infirmed, because it's a difference, she's a nurse. You know, was there any medical training taking place? No. Or any medical procedures taking place? We don't know. Okay. Now, if you come in, and for people who know, after a lawyer, whatever else it would be, or from a legal perspective, you're coming in looking at someone that's injured. The police are not the first responders most of the time. The nurses, the ambulance usually are. EMTs are. Paramedics are. Okay, so if this report that you can clearly see on the screen here says he was injured, that confirms Brother Gamba's statement, you know, the fire department and the fire engine performing CPR to a black male who was unresponsive on the floor in his apartment. Okay, that's another thing to raise my eyebrow. If she is a medical professional, she didn't try to move him or try to take him somewhere or help or figure.
If for whatever reason it was an issue of that nature, then she should have been the one performing CPR.
Correct. I mean, because, you know, I'm CPR certified.
So am I.
So, you mean to tell me a whole entire nurse is not CPR certified? The report should have said that she attempted CPR for a period of time until the police came, you know, because that's kind of what they asked you when they asked you for a statement and what exactly happened here, you know.
We're going to have to see where this goes with the investigation because we don't know everything that's taking place at this time. But the bottom line is, it doesn't seem to be so clean and clear cut. Now, they may make it clean and clear cut, try to, but I don't know.
Yeah. Now, moving on, transitioning to our next topic. I mean, okay, we have to go on this whole Ukraine thing. Don't want to spend too much time on this, but we don't really want to spend too much time on this per se. But we do want to touch on this, just to kind of make note of what is important here, you know, and what exactly we're looking at and what's going on. But again, what's your thoughts on all this?
As it relates to Ukraine, man. I mean, all right, first off, we need to be clear. Ukraine is not a sovereign country, even though a lot of people try to make it seem
Explain
as if it
that, because the majority of people don't know that or what that means. We gotta go
is. They never applied for a sovereign title. They're not a sovereign country. They're still under Russia. They're still a part of Russia. All right, you have to apply for sovereignty, and they did not do that. So that means that they're still. So this is okay. If you're from the Bahamas, then this would be like Nassau and Freeport having a war. That's still the Bahamas. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, they different islands or might be, but they don't even have a border. They never even applied for a border. So at the end of the day, you're still a part of Russia. That's the first thing. So this is internal. Secondly,
so that ain't none of your business.
right.
Basically, what that means.
That's the first thing that I'm trying to say. Secondly, is white people against white people. I don't even understand why. I really don't understand why we.
What did you go on the table?
Yeah, I don't even understand why we call it this. It's white against.
As if you didn't have nothing going on in your life.
You understand? Okay. Thirdly, there have already been reports about labs that were dealing with deadly and toxic chemicals and viruses and whatnot, which initially they were saying it was fake news and it was a conspiracy. And then proof came out. Okay, and then now they said, oh, yes, it's true, but those things were not being used for what you all saying. You understand what I'm saying? So why would you be lying about that to begin with?
Given we just had a pandemic that lasted, or pandemic.
Okay, because what's being said from Putin's side is that he's coming to deal with the corruption that's taking place right under his nose. So we're talking about these deadly viruses that are being created. We're also talking about this money laundering, because a lot of people don't understand that aid is money laundering.
Go deeper in that. Please.
Okay,
Explain that.
aid is money laundering because this is the way that they transfer funds without it looking suspicious. So they say, we donated, we lent aid, we lent support to this particular country in this particular amount. Now, what you need to do is find out what they did with that money. How many people were actually aided? Ask Haiti. How much aid has come to them with all these money, millions and billions and billions?
In the billions.
Okay, over the course of the years. Okay, ask them what happened to the aid. All right, ask Bahamians what happened to aid that came to them after these numerous hurricanes over the course of the years.
Remember this? Yeah.
Okay, ask them what happened to the aid that they got. Aid is money laundering. Also, EU is the money laundering principle. Okay, everyone else work under them. All right, so that's their school. They're in charge of all that. Okay, so anybody who ride with them, who is actually a part of this thing, they are good. If you're not working with them, you're in a part of the situation, then now you're going to be charged and alleged to be a part of this money laundering situation. But guess what? Nobody who's a part of them has ever been. You gotta be.
Right. So, of the alleged 30-something houses built, because we gotta go down the line with this.
Yes.
Of the alleged 30-something houses that were built
in Haiti.
Marshawn Lynch, a running back from California, by the way, he's retired from NFL, just didn't have nothing to do. He said, "Oh, cool, I'm coming over there, and I can build a couple houses for you." And he bought his own money, bought his own supplies, and built some of the houses that were there.
So the aid that the Clinton Foundation was given didn't even pay for all of the houses that they're saying that was done under them.
Correct.
You see, this is the thing. Because if you're truly about a system, there's more than enough money to feed the people who need to be fed. There's more than enough money to build the things that need to be built for these people. But the monies are not being used for that. All right? And that's where I have the issue with these things. And too many people refuse to open their eyes to it. You just all about the politics that they have you fighting over. You literally fighting each other over the thoughts and opinions and theories of these other people who you ain't benefiting because their pockets getting fatter, their companies making millions, billions of dollars, while you still there struggling to feed you and your family, but you prepared to fight to the death for these individuals because you like them? Come on, man.
Just a question, just put it in perspective, gas is almost $7 a gallon. For most people in the United States, Gas is close to 4, probably over, it's over 4, and over close to 4.50 or whatever else it would be. It's expensive. It's more expensive than others. That then affects food. There are food shortages in multiple places, in multiple different locations. That affects the transportation. That affects everything that you got to get up and go to work. What is not going up is your wages.
And they will never be interested in taking that up for you either. They want you to be in a position where you're dependent solely on them.
So gas could go up on a spur of a whim, but your wages needs a referendum and a memorandum and a pass through Congress and a pass through the House and all this and that.
And this is what people are